Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm Jenny Hall and today I have a new card making project to share with you. Today I am making a single layer card and it will be embossed, and then I will use Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to do my watercoloring. To start off the project, I'm using Bristol paper, and the Bristol paper is a thick paper it's like a step down from watercolor paper. It's thick and it holds the water very nicely, but it is not textured. Or if it is textured, it's very, very mildly textured. Excuse me. And the card size that I'm using is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 once it's folded in half and scored. I'm making this card as a single layer card to keep it simple because the image of the angel that I'm using from Wonder of Christmas stamp set, it's quite large for a card, and if I were to use it as a layer, then I would have to put layer upon layer in order to get a sentiment on it and to get the background pieces, and I thought it would lend itself nicely to being a single layer card. So whenever I considered being able to use this, I imagined this little tree topper that I had when I was young for the Christmas tree, and that's what I'm modeling the coloring and the style of that angel tree topper. I used Stampin' Up Stampin' Up silver embossing powder to do the heat embossing, and I used my heat gun to set the powder. And I used an embossing buddy right before that to make the paper prepared so that the embossing powder doesn't stick everywhere. To do the coloring, I'm using a water brush, and it is filled with just regular tap water inside. And I'm using the 48, it's either 48 or 46 set of Zig Real Brush Clean Color markers. And these are watercolor markers. They have a brush tip that allows the color to go onto the paper in a brush form, which is different from that of a marker. These pens are definitely not markers by any means. However, you can hold them like markers. They feel very natural in my hand. So what I am able to do is, when using the correct paper, which I'm using Bristol paper, excuse me, then once I lay down the color onto the paper, I'm able to use my water brush to move that paint around or move the ink color around. It's water-based, and so the water in my water brush reacts with it and is able to move around. So the combination of the water, the watercolor pen, and the paper all work together in harmony to be able to do watercoloring with a little bit more control than it is just mixing up on a palette with traditional watercolors. Excuse me. So the way I laid out the design of the card is I wanted to make the angel be on a starry sky, and I'm concentrating the sky portion of the card at the top, and I'm bringing it down to fade out as you get to the bottom of, well, not the bottom of the card, but the bottom of the sky portion, which is right around her shoulder area. I'm making her dress a very sheer color that I'm going to put some glitter over. And the sentiment, I put some water down first so that when I added the paint from the Real Brush Clean Color marker, it would automatically start reacting with the water and be really easy to move around. I am here going tip to tip, and sometimes that's a nice way to be able to move the color from your water brush directly onto the paper, is by getting some onto your water brush first. And whenever you apply any kind of color directly to cardstock or to paper, it always leaves a little bit of a mark, some kind of a mark, that's harder to remove whenever you dilute the paint and try to wash it out. It's easier for me sometimes to go to take my water brush and go onto the tip and be able to bring it to the paper that way. I'm using the back side of my water brush here, which is, it's just very like a rounded plain. It's not a brush at all on that end. It's just something that I can use to move the glue around. And this is standard liquid Tombow mono glue, and I'm putting Dazzling Diamonds glitter over it. And I'm doing this on the section of the angel's wings because I want the angel's wings to be sparkly. And I used a blue as a foundation color so that it would appear kind of transparent. Excuse me. The colors that I'm making on the angel are very intentional, and the pink and gray colors that I used on her dress were, I knew that I was going to go over silver with them, and I wanted it to appear as if it was like a sheer. Again, I'm modeling after the tree topper that I had on the Christmas tree when I was a very young child. And this is what I remember about it. The cool thing about this project is I'm working off of my memory. So that way I can't go wrong. I want to thank you guys for joining me for this quick video today. I invite you to jump over to my blog and get a card idea every day. And I will see you in the next video.